for tuning in today. We're going to talk with Tammy Wells, who's also known as the Briscoes Lady. Let's go.
Well, Gina, I am Tammy Wells. I'm a Christchurch girl, and I've had the great joy of being the Briscoes Lady for, in a few months' time, it will be 28 years, which is a joyous and fun job. So that's sort of, it's me.
That's a wrap. We haven't got anything more. That's it. We're out of here.
Is it meant to be longer? Would you like to? Which I can do it. I can go on about all sorts of things that I've done, but that's not what you're wanting, is it? No. Good. Lovely.
Okay. Work history. Did you do anything before?
Yes, I did. Before I was the Briscoes Lady, I always wanted to be in broadcasting, and I didn't really sort of know what kind, but radio or television. Not because I wanted to have my face on the telly, actually, but I just loved the idea of broadcasting. And when I was young, I used to interview all my neighbours, my girlfriends, and they would come down and play at my house, and I had a tape recorder. Wow, I had a tape recorder. It was so cool, this little reel-to-reel tape recorder, and I used to interview them, and I was always the interviewer, which is what you're doing today, and I loved that, and I knew it was sort of something I wanted to go on and do, and I went and was an exchange student for a year, and when I came back I thought, look, I've got to get into broadcasting, and I was 18 and there were no jobs left, and so I went and was politely persistent in radio and Radio New Zealand here in Christchurch, and then after I'd been politely persistent for quite a long time, I finally got a job with them, and so I did that for 10 years before I became Mrs Briscoes, and there was a couple of years of where it was overlap where I was both. But
do you love your job?
Yeah, I do love my job. I get paid to do something I love doing, but it's just the fun of, I guess, doing what I think I've always sort of wanted to do, even though I didn't know that at the time. Yeah. The company I work for have given me this wonderful lifestyle where I had the opportunity to do the things that I wanted to without having to work full time. To me, it's a real blessing. When I was growing up, my mother had to work particularly hard. She really wanted a great life for my sister and I, and then my younger brother. And she had split with my father, and in those days there was no DPB, there was nothing, and my mother just knew she wanted us to have a really fabulous education, so she just worked so hard, and she was so busy, so she gave us this wonderful education and a wonderful lifestyle. But I did want her around more, and I knew as I grew up, I kept thinking, gosh, if ever I get the joy of one day being a mum, I hope I can be around more, and so this is what this job has given me, and I'm very fortunate because not everybody can have that in a job, but this job has given me like part-time work in a full-time pay situation, so it's a joy.
Freedom.
It's huge freedom.
To acknowledge your values.
Yeah.
That are important to you, and your not only can you keep them consistent in your job, but you bring them into your home as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the personal Tammy and the professional Tammy are kind of intertwined, interdependent. Am I right?
Yes. Yeah. And they are, and yet what is also so lovely, because it is very me on television, but then I get to come home and live in Christchurch. And it's wonderful to go away. It's always wonderful to go away, but it's always wonderful to come back home because there's nowhere like home.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
I think God gave me this gift of being able to smile and talk very, very quickly and fit a lot of words into 30 seconds, and I'm very grateful for that gift. It's a neat gift. Yeah, I think.
Yeah. I do think that your job is your joy of being. I do. I think it suits you on so many different levels. I can't imagine you doing anything else, to be perfectly honest.
I know, just imagine it coming in on my Zimmer frame this week. But look, you know, and I think, gosh, I mean, what age doesn't go in and shop at Briscoes?
Let's go to the Tammy that we love and we know and love, and the person who is really effervescent. And how would you describe yourself?
So that's a question.
Yeah.
Yes. How would
how would you describe yourself?
Well, actually, I do think the woman on television that the world sees is very much part of actually who I am. I am that bubbly, warm, friendly self. That is definitely me. I'm sure my husband would disagree with that sometimes, and even I disagree with that sometimes, but that's very much probably the core of who I am. I don't have to actually act that. Probably when I first started, then yes, I did, because I was so terrified and desperate to not put a foot wrong, whereas really, and I think that's what's so lovely about the ads nowadays. I think a number of years ago they stopped getting me to sort of project quite so much, and they just said, just be you. And so it can be me, and obviously a very happy, whizzy me, but that definitely, yeah, is me. And I know sometimes, and I just have to tell this story of many years ago when I was still in radio and I had to film ads on the weekend, and you'd get up there and you had to learn, I had to learn to rely on getting myself up to the right energy level, and say if it was a Sunday morning and we're filming, you've got to come out right in that very first take and be trying to aim for it being a first take, a one take wonder, because you've got a lot of work to get through, so you've got to be sort of pretty energised right from the start. And for me, I always found saying the word wee really, really helped, because it just put your face into this happy mode. It just got everything sort of alight, and it makes you feel happy and whizzy, because I couldn't rely on the rest of the crew to tell me funny jokes to get me up to this energy level. So going back to your question, yes, it definitely is me. I'm definitely not like that all the time, and after I've had a few days of really hard working, I come home and actually quite like to be quite quiet and do a lot of gardening and things like that, and just be a little more reflective, but it is definitely part and parcel of who I am, and I think that's why it works really well, because it is me that you see on camera.
Are you feeling energised at the moment, or shall we do one of those wees?
I am feeling energised, but would you like a wee?
Yeah,
would you like a wee? So if it was a Sunday morning and it was really flat, and I'm thinking, and I'll jiggle on the spot and I'll run around, because you can't be flat. We'd wreck it. So you're just standing there on the spot and you're whizzing around like this, and then you just go, yeah, like that.
Okay.
And it's just like that. Your wee was a whole lot better. But it's actually amazing, some of my friends and some people I know who have subsequently gone for auditions, they have used that, and it's just a really neat thing to be energised with, and it's actually a really neat thing to do too if you're feeling a bit flat. It does just, the Tammy wee.
You told me about who you are, like, you know, the things that make you you. Have we got anything else to add? Like, you've got a great sense of humour.
Yeah, I do have a great sense of humour. That sounds very difficult saying that, actually. That feels a little blowing smoke up my own body. But no, I do. Actually, on set sometimes I have great fun, and where you're just honing around, having so many laughs, but that's all, I guess, part of what helps you to create a really good performance too. So if you can be having all that laughter and banter and joking around, it does put you in that right frame of mind to get the smile on the face. I do, probably sometimes to my detriment, I do tend to always see the good in people. Probably as I've got older, I can actually sort of see both sides to people, whereas when I was younger, I would never actually assume anybody could be doing something for the wrong reasons. You know, I used to just always think everyone was amazing, and I think that's a lovely quality that I do like about myself.
Me too.
Yeah, cool, yeah.
That's beautiful.
I like to think that everybody's got this core and there's a spiritual side to them, you know? Yeah, I think they have too, yeah.
But it's shining that light out of people, that's the part that we love, isn't it? I love the heart of you that comes through.
Oh, it's so sweet, thank you.
Oh, that's why you're my friend.
Oh, yeah.
Which is so beautiful.
Oh, well, it's lovely. Well, I just try and be me.
You are.
And actually, aren't I lucky that I get to do what I do, because how fun and how non-taxing, except for when I overtax it and when I make it when it's a bit, but it's not, you know what I mean? It's just it's a great acting gig. It's really what it is, and in very short wee bursts where I get to stand there and be happy as Larry and remember this line that goes on about 3-piece stainless steel saucepan set. You put out what you want to get back.
And that's what you do in your job. You put out your joy and love of the world. I mean, you probably don't always love the cups and saucers and things like that. However, I never feel as though you don't love those things, because it's the essence that you're putting out of joy and love and whatever you want to call it. I guess it's an energy thing. I don't know enough about vibration and energy, but I'm guessing it's probably along those lines, where you're putting out into the world yourself, the best rendition of yourself, I'm imagining most of the time, and that's received in lots of family living rooms.
Yes, over many years. And so I think that's why when I meet people, when I go and talk to groups and things like that, everyone's very welcoming, because the ads have always been very warm in their lounges, in their kitchens and or bedroom throughout the years. So yes, fortunately I don't have to portray an evil character or a grumpy person.
And you're consistently joyous. So if you were going to tell your 18-year-old self something, what would you tell them?
Be kind to yourself. Be emotional and hit my microphone. Be good to yourself. Put yourself up on a pedestal and love yourself and believe in yourself, and seek help when you need to seek help, and get good people around you, and just go for it. Just go for what you love. If it's in your heart, and this is what you really love, and you know this is what you love, then persevere, and because it just brings you such great joy. What else would I say to my 18-year-old self? I'd say, don't sweat the small stuff, I guess. Believe in yourself. Go for it.
Right, Tammy. If you had 3 words to describe Tammy, what would they be? Only 3.
Joyous, loving, and creative.
Where's kind?
Kind. Yes, definitely. Yes, Well, I want people to be kind to me, and so again, you put out and you get it back, and it's I like that. Worry. For me, work happiness is being in the moment, enjoying what I do, being part of something with a whole lot of other people. Yeah?
Okay.
That's it.
That's it. Thanks so much for joining me today, talking with Tammy. I just loved it, and I hope you did too. And what was so beautiful was that Tammy spoke about her way of being true to yourself, of finding work that you love, and living the life she does. It was great. Thanks so much to you for joining, and if you liked the video, please like it and share it with your friends, and check out more work happiness interviews on GinaHaines.com. Thanks a lot, and have a great day.